Check me out, check me out. What is up, YouTube? This is your boy AJ from AJ's Way. Today's topic is a very, very transparent moment for me, but I just feel like I need to share this with you all. And I don't know, it's a cool journey. So I'm gonna get into this video. So today's video is about waiting until marriage. Sharing this with you all is very, 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 very personable, but I just want to create that transparency, and I just feel like it's a great movement, you know, waiting for God's best. And I think the ultimate reason why I have chosen to do so is just because we live in a world full of sex everywhere. I mean, even on a McDonald's commercial, I mean, just with the burger and other stuff, how they sell it, and of course in rap and hip hop and so many other ways. I mean, you scroll on Instagram, get on Twitter, on Snapchat, you see so many things. You see it everywhere. It's just up and in your face. And so I just feel that, to me personally, I feel like that's the last thing on my mind in a certain sense. Like, of course, my fleshly man, of course, I want it just as much as the next man. But I feel that in a time full of so many fake and phony people and clout chasers and all that stuff, that I'm just seeking more things of substance. So for me, when I'm dating or when I'm looking for a potential woman to start a relationship with, I start from the head on down. Some people start down there in your personal area, and then they try to get to know you after that, which I feel like is so hard to do. I mean, there might be some 1%ers out there that it actually is possible, but for the average of people, it's just not a good mix, and it brings in too many emotions and feelings. And so how I feel and my philosophy, I feel that if I know what you're thinking, I know your thoughts, I get into your mind, you know, tap into that intellectual side, the funny side, and just all different sides of you. And then I work my way down to your heart. What's in your heart? Are your intentions pure? Do you actually love me, or do you love the idea of me, or the thought of me, or what I can do for you, or my career, or just so many other things? So many people, I think they get that confused. They like the idea of somebody, but they really don't like them. And so I'd rather you not waste my time and just be upfront and say, hey, this is what I want, or this is what I don't want. And if I agree, great. And if I don't, you know, we move on. And we don't have time to waste. I know I'm just 22, but you know, I'm dating with a purpose, and I'm dating to find wife-like qualities. I'm not necessarily trying to find my wife on the first girl I date, but you know, I'm dating seriously. I'm being intentional about a lot of things that I do. And so I just feel that when you just tap into somebody's mind and their overall spiritual being, then it just makes things a lot easier. And so, I don't know. I just feel that waiting to marriage is the best thing. And granted, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow, but I feel that at least I want to be in a well-established, committed relationship before that is maybe an option for me or put on the table. I just feel that as a man, so many men are led by these sexual feelings, and, you know, just running after the woman, chasing the next woman, and just thinking with the wrong head. Hey, I just gotta be real with you all. And I think the best thing that really broadened my the biggest thing that really broadened my horizons and really helped me come to this revelation is I read the book The Wait by Devon Franklin and Megan Good. It was a very, very, very good book. If you guys have not read it, I suggest that you go pick up a copy. It was probably one of the best books that I've read. It wasn't one of those same self-help books and get up off the couch and do this. No, it was very real and transparent. They told their stories and how they were before they met each other. For those of you all that don't know them, Devon Franklin is a pastor. Well, no, a preacher, and he's a producer and an author, and he's just an amazing man of God. And we all know Megan Good as well. She's a well-renowned actress. and philanthropist and just gives back as well. So they are together and they're married, and their story was just so amazing, and it just made me realize that, man, like I was kind of practicing the weight. That never in high school I was kind of sheltered in a sense. That never really was something that I experienced. I was never put in that situation per se. I guess in high school I was a little nerdy, had my glasses and a little bit heavier and all that stuff. But you know, I started hitting the gym and the beard came in college. But and I started to grow into my looks, and yeah, we just go leave it at that. And it just wasn't on my mind back then. I was just a young, innocent kid, just worried about going to movies with friends and going to Six Flags and just doing things that teenagers do or supposedly to do. And I didn't look at it as being lame. I was just living my life. So that's just what I was doing. And so to be transparent, and I'm going to keep saying that word, because in order to really, truly minister to people or be of service or kind of give your outlook on life, you really have to derobe yourself and tell a lot of things that made you come to the conclusion or come to where you are today. So freshman year in college, I almost had sex. I won't lie, and it just wasn't feeling right in my spiritual man. My fleshly man, we was ready, but something in me, like, it just didn't feel right. Like I was like, this, I want to do this, but something is just holding me back. Like I feel like there's more to this. I don't know. I was just all over the place, but I just couldn't go through with it. And so I did not know right then and there that was God, like, whispering in my ear, saying that, you know, not right now, my son. Like, this will come. This is what I created man and woman to come together and do. She's rib of my rib, and so, you know, that will come in due time. And I just heard him whisper to me, just stay focused, and you know, all the other things will come. And of course, like I said, I want to indulge just as much as the next man, but you know, I just had that feeling that came over me, and it just didn't happen. And so I'm fine with that. Like, I'm sure of myself. I'm sure of myself in Christ, and I know whose I am and who I am in God, and I don't need any of these worldly things to validate that and tell me that, oh, you're not a real man. Real men test the waters, see what's out there, there's plenty of fish in the sea, and all that type of stuff. And I'm like, well, who said that that's the norm? Who created that false fallacy that is the barometer that men must hold their standards to or focus their life around? And I just feel that I'm focused on me, my career, like I said, growing my faith and growing my relationship with God on a daily basis. And I don't have time for all them other things, playing games with people and messing with women's hearts, and I mean, being a player, all that's just not in my DNA. I'm a very thoughtful person, and you know, one day I'm gonna have a daughter, and so, you know, you reap what you sow. I'm a firm believer in that, and so I am not trying to do bad. That's somebody's daughter, somebody's sister, and just that's somebody's somebody. And you know, what I do and put into the world, it'll come back to me tenfold. And I don't know. I know it's just very uncommon to hear of these days, with waiting until marriage and stuff like that. But I'm a proud believer in that, and I'm practicing that, and I'm not ashamed to wear it on my shirt if I have to. And it's becoming more and more a movement. I've been seeing it a lot. People saved and single and preservation until marriage. I've been seeing a lot of these pages come up on Instagram, and you know, these different movements. Of course, Devon Franklin, Megan Good talking about it, and other couples in Hollywood, Sierra Russell Wilson, and other couples talking about waiting until marriage. And I feel like my story is gonna be even stronger because I've literally waited my whole life until marriage. Some people, they chose to abstain from it. So I think I want to clarify celibacy from abstinence. So celibate is celibate is more so like a concrete definition or a vow or promise to not indulge in it. Or correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that celibacy is when you never had sex. I believe so. And abstinence is when you've already had sex and you're abstaining from doing it again. due to personal beliefs or some things that you see, what you wish that you knew then that you know now type of situation. I believe that's what it is. I'm gonna define it right here on screen so you guys can see to make sure I was right and for me to make sure I was right. I just believe in that. I'm sorry, shoot me in the foot if you think I'm wrong, I just feel that that's something that's so important to me because I heard once you open up that can of worms, I mean, it's no going back, and it's just a special, to me, it is a special moment. I mean, that's what God created us to do, and I'm just that type of guy. I just feel like I'm an all-in type of person too. Like if I do that, I'm gonna be like, oh, this is my wife, and we're gonna have kids, and we're gonna have like I will be very excited, and I'm a very hopeful person, and I like to dream big, and that's just my thing. So I know that way to marriage is gonna be best for me. I mean, granted, it can happen. I mean, my wife could leave me, but knock on wood, we're not gonna speak that into existence. Knock on wood, not gonna speak that into existence, but the chances are less likely. And I'm not saying I'm perfect by far. I mean, I'm not lucky, I'm loved, I'm blessed by God, but we're all a banana peel away from being on the wrong side of life. But thank God that He saved us and watches over us every day, keeps us safe in His arms. But just because I'm waiting to marriage, I do not think I'm better than anybody else, and I have a broad perspective on life and a great outlook on life. But I just feel like for me, everybody has their personal journey and certain struggles with different things, but I feel like for me, as Antonio, as my own man, I'm just gonna wait. And y'all, it get hard sometimes. I'm not even gonna lie. When you get late in the midnight hour, or like I said, you see on social media, this hot girl summer and all this stuff, you be like, whoo, hot girl. We see some Megan Thee Stallions out here, in this world full of stallions. I gotta stay focused. But definitely, I just feel that is a movement that I'm so happy to be a part of, and I challenge you all, now be honest with yourself. If you're not ready for that life, don't even fake yourself out or fool yourself. If it's not for you, I pray for you, and we pray for you, and keep on moving and keep on living the best way you know how. But for those of you that kind of been stuck in ruts and been seeing some dysfunctional patterns and bad habits coming from, jumping straight into sex before you actually get to know the person in a relationship, I would say you need to maybe reevaluate your life and your approach of going about starting a relationship. Or maybe if you're not as strong, or if you can't hold out for that long, maybe establish, this is for men and for women, a certain amount of months or a certain amount of period of time that you need to know your significant other or the person that you're dating or courting or whatever it is, whatever your plan is, that you establish a timeline and say by this time then I will feel comfortable with sharing myself with you, because it's a spiritual tie. People get it confused and think sex is just like you're getting it done and you're good, you get your needs met and that's it. But no, it's a spiritual tie. If you think of it, how the anatomy of men and women, biology major, all my bio majors out there, or people just that love science and the human body, and it's how we're made up. Men are meant to deposit and women are meant to receive, and our anatomy speaks directly to that, how men are made and how women are made. And so 9 times out of 10, us men deposit things into women way beyond the fleshly experience, some spiritual things or some demons or just wars that are waging in our mind. Like we don't even know that, and we're not aware that we're passing that on to the woman that we're laying down with, and vice versa. With some women, they can be passing things on. But I just feel that it makes sense because sex is so powerful. I mean, it creates life. That's how we procreate, through sex. So it's a very, very powerful and sacred thing. So we shouldn't just be passing it out like it's a coupon or like it's a business card. Like, no, this is something that you hold dear to you, and men and women, Some people call me like, who are you to say that that's a special moment, this and that? And that's somebody that's very closed-minded. Just as much as a woman could think that, a man could think that too. I don't see a problem with it. And like I said, I'm very open-minded. So that's what I plan to do. And I just want y'all to comment. Hopefully some people have feedback. Maybe some people are a part of the movement. Maybe you want to be a part of the movement, or maybe you disagree. I mean, it's all cool. Like I said, we're all entitled to our own opinions, and we are the captains of our own life, our own ship, set on course called life. And I'm just telling you what I'm doing for myself in my life. As a man, I feel that is just about the hardest thing you can do. And I know that God will honor that. I mean, we have this ego, we have this entitlement, like, oh, I know she like me, and I'm gonna get what I need, and I'm gonna lead. Like, some of us have that mentality. I always say it's bad in the best of us, and there's good in the worst of us. So I don't ever put anything past anybody, and same for me. People change, and we have different ways of going about things in life. But I just feel that when you lead in love, you would tend to attract better people. And for me, I expect to attract better women, that I'm not settling for no one night stand or quickie or whatever word you want to call it. It's all, nothing's new under the sun. Maybe the name has changed in 2019, but the practice behind the premise of it hasn't changed. And so I don't want that. I want somebody that actually loves me and I love them, and even if we don't end up together, but hopefully that is my goal. I'm not no person to string anybody along, be living with them and having kids and sharing bills and doing all these things of a marriage, but not actually marrying the person. I feel like, to me, that's disrespectful. Like, these are our queens. We are all kings and queens of the Most High, and we should treat each other accordingly. And I'm just waiting. I feel that just holding out in this area of my life is just so noble, and like I said, God will honor that, and I know that nobody can tell me otherwise. And I just feel that in the end, I'll look up at my future wife and kids running around, and nice house, nice career, all the things that I've ever hoped and dreamt for. And God knows the desires of our hearts, and He wants us to have that. Actually, He will blow your mind and give you more than that. He'll give you more, that you even have room to receive that. Blessings just running over. I want my cup to run over. But I feel that this is a big area in life. I'm leading in mastery, and I'm just mastering my single season, and just restraint, and having restraint in sex life, it actually trickles over into other parts. Being patient with job opportunities, and like I said, for me specifically, getting into dental school and waiting for that, and just waiting for a lot of things in life. When you wait, you tend to get God's best. And I just want to inspire everybody out here. Didn't mean to ramble on too long, but I just wanted to share this with you all, that this is the journey that I'm on, and I've come to the conclusion. I really have. And I'm not going to let anybody change my mind on it. And my mind is made up. And I'm waiting. I'm waiting because I love myself first and foremost. You have to love you before you can even think about loving somebody else and taking care of somebody else and being in a committed relationship. You have to love you. And I think this is how the flow of love goes. To me, first is God loves you. You love God. Then you love yourself. Then you can love somebody else. That's how it has to flow. If it's all jacked up, then it's just not gonna go the way you're gonna be wondering, why is this not working out, or why is this that? And a lot of people, sometimes they tend to idolize, for us, some of us men, we idolize that woman or that relationship or that specific thing that we want. And some women are guilty as well for idolizing that man or a man that they're in a relationship with. And people fail to realize that when you worship something, it becomes your God. And God is like, put Him first, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and He'll give you all the desires of your heart. He'll give you all that and more. So I'm seeking God, knowing that if He's working on me right here, right now, in 2019, where I'm at geographically in my life right now, I just always imagine and I pray and I affirm to myself, my future wife is somewhere being worked on as well. And I always say this to my friends and different people that I know when this comes up in conversation, that I want God to keep pruning me, keep purging me, keep cleansing me, and keep cutting me so specifically that when he brings his daughter to me, that I'll be a perfect piece for her, and we'll just lock together. It will just be a perfect match. We'll be in harmony. We'll be in harmony. No, I'm talking about harmony, no e-harmony. I'm not about to go online looking for somebody when there's so many people right out here in front of us. Just go out, have fun. And like I said, I have fun and I enjoy my life. Just because I'm waiting for marriage doesn't mean I can't go out and have fun. And just because I'm Christian on me, I can go have a good time, you know, go to a club or to a party with some friends. I mean, I do those things. I'm not holier than thou. Like I said, I'm not trying to be perfect or think that I'm better than anybody or look down or shame anybody because they're not on the same path as I am. And I totally respect everybody. They do their own thing. Like I said, everybody does what they feel is best for them. Sorry, that's my dog playing with her toy. I don't know. She's going crazy down there. But anyways, I just want to share this with you all. Like I said, I was very hesitant with sharing this video or talking about this specific topic because it's dear to me and I don't really share that with a lot of people. But I'm sharing this with you all, and hopefully, like I said, somebody gets inspired from this video or comes to the realization, or maybe, you know, wants to follow the same path, or like I said, you might be able to agree to disagree, or maybe just disagree, but everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And that's my life right now. So, you know, if my future wife, if you happen to be watching this, my future girl, hit me up. But in all seriousness, I feel good with sharing this with you all. And I guess this is what YouTube is for, to look into the lives of others. Maybe not as personal as this, but hey, I'm not ashamed of it. I mean, to me, it is a big deal, but I don't have a problem in showing it. I operate in transparency all the time, every part of the day, no matter who I'm with. I always like to be transparent, and as us as men, we can't be afraid to be vulnerable, because your vulnerability will lead to your victory, and your conviction will lead to your correction. And it's always ways to improve in our lives and say, how can I make today better than yesterday? There's no competition. You're competing with yourself, the person that's staring back at you in the mirror. You're trying to be the best version of you every day. So once you start to believe that, things will start looking up for you. You start attracting better people. That is my spill on it. I thank you all for your time. And just listening to me, listen to what I had to say. You did not have to click on this and did not have to listen. I'm not holding you hostage, but I thank you all for your support. I think I'm at 43 subscribers now with uploading this video. I hope to just hit, I think once I get over 100, I'll be even more excited. I'm already excited how I just came from nowhere and then it's flourishing overnight. Like, I mean, that's dope. And like I said, if I'm just inspiring one person, that's enough for me. You know, I'm not trying to get all famous off of YouTube and all that. That would be great though, you know, to get paid and all that. That is great. But that's not my ultimate goal. That's not the main reason I'm on here. I'm not just gonna say, oh, I'm not getting this many views and I'm gonna shut it down and I don't care anymore. No, this is something I actually want to get out. I actually want to do this sooner. I love to talk. You haven't noticed, but if not, click on these other videos and click on these other videos and go watch some of my other videos. You can see just how much I can talk. So if you don't know, now you know. But in all seriousness, I thank you all. Again, I can't thank you all enough for supporting me and checking out my video. I hope that you like this video. Put the thumbs up, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. I'm going to try to get as many videos uploaded as possible in various topics. So thank you. And this has been your boy AJ from AJ's Way. Catch y'all in the next video. Peace.